Hi there, I'm Brandon, and this is the second part of Anime Night streaming event. This is actually going to be the second one I'm doing. I do want to make an announcement that I'll be doing one every Thursday, um, like once a month. So that's how I'm going to be handling it since I'm doing one event a month or even two events a month with my anime club. I'll be doing a streaming event to kind of follow up with it as well. So kind of look forward to that. I'm going to be going through quite a few things, like unboxing segments with like Japanese Blu-rays and DVDs, as well as upcoming events. I know that a lot of people might be showing up to the Paranoia Agent event on September 21st. It's going to be the first part, so I'm going to be showing episodes 1 through 6. It's actually the only television show that Satoshi Kon ever did. And it's kind of a shame that he passed on when he did because there was so much potential there. Later in October, I'll be doing Kiznaiver Part 1. It's the first film of 3, and I'll be showing that film, which the Alamo Drafthouse actually played it all across the United States back in like March to April, and it's the beginning of the Monogatari story. And then what follows after is like Baka Monogatari and Monogatari second season, Nisen Monogatari, all the other ones that kind of follow. So I'll be showing that on October 12th. And then the club is actually going to be doing a trip down to the Alamo for the second part, Kizo Monogatari Part 2, in late October. So kind of look forward to that. In November, I've got 2 events slated. On November 2nd, I'll be doing 91 Days Part 1. It's a Prohibition era drama, and it's about a young man that actually buys to get revenge on the family that murdered his own. It's very, very good. It's currently airing right now in Japan, and it only has a few more episodes left, I believe. I kind of wish it had 91, but you know. I'll be showing that on November 2nd. There will be prizes involved, which include the official Japanese Blu-ray release of Volume 1, as well as the opening and ending singles, and the awesome original soundtrack, which is phenomenal, by the way. I just got it in today. So kind of look forward to that as well. And then also, I'm going to be doing on November 11th and 12th, a full-on marathon of Cowboy Bebop. Now, I'm sure that anyone has seen anime knows what Cowboy Bebop is. Many people kind of grew up on the show, kind of grew up with it, and it kind of developed many of the anime that people watch today. It's Shinichiro Watanabe directed it, he created it, and Space Dandy was his kind of like spiritual successor to Cowboy Bebop. So Cowboy Bebop kind of laid the groundwork for a lot of anime that came out in the early part of the 2000s and well into today. So look forward to that. I'm actually trying to figure out dates right now for it, like times, because I may be doing it much earlier in the day. That way a lot more people can have access to it, and it will be playing in a theater. So look forward to that. In December, I only have one event planned. It's an animation genre spotlight. Earlier this year, I did an animation studio spotlight where I showcased works from Manglobe Animation Studio, the studio that went out of business last year. And this time, I'm doing a spotlight on the genre of josei, which is a genre that focuses on an audience of females between the ages of 18 all the way up to 60. Usually the stories are very mature, and the relationships are dealing with self-conflict and also really hard grounded relationships. So shows like Honey and Clover, Nana, um, Paradise Kiss about a fashion company, and a schoolgirl that kind of gets involved into the fashion world. And then you've also got Kiznaiver, Sakamichi no Apollon, which is a series around like the 60s about jazz. And that's actually directed by Shinichiro Watanabe as well. So the shows I'll be showcasing for that screening include Honey and Clover, and these are going to be the premiere episodes. So it's only one episode of each one of these shows I'm listing. So it's Honey and Clover. Also Ristorante Paradiso, which is about it's like a cafe in Italy. You've also got Natsuyuke Rendezvous, about a woman who is overcome with grief from the loss of her husband. She owns a flower shop, and the young man that works there has fallen in love with her. But oddly enough, he ends up seeing the ghost of the deceased husband. So it's actually one of 3 anime that was ever recorded where the voices were done before the animation. So if you'll notice in a show like that, and that was actually the director's choice to do that, you'll notice that the lip movements are much more fluid compared to traditional animation. Alongside those 3, I'm also going to be showing No Dame Cantabile, which is a full-on series about classical music, and a woman who is a pianist and a conductor, and they end up falling in love and studying abroad and kind of studying through college and things like that. It's really cool. And then I'll be showing Nana, which I'm sure a lot of you know about a 2 girls named Nana who meet on a train, and one of them is a punk rocker, and the other one is just on and off again relationships. And so they kind of develop this friendship that will last a lifetime. The manga actually recently just got announced by Ayazawa, the creator, that it will be coming back sometime very soon. And then last but not least is Kids on the Slope. Now, Kids on the Slope is a jazz series, and the music is actually featured by Yoko Kanno, who did the music to Cowboy Bebop as well. So I try to pick shows that defined josei as a genre, and shows that are really meaningful and heartfelt. Also, they kind of work really well for the cold and winter season. So look forward to that one. Next up is going to be the first screening for 2017. This is going to be my anime after holiday party. I did one last year, which I showed Tokyo Godfathers, and I also did 2 Ranma episodes, Ranma 1/2 episodes of the Christmas specials, and a few other extra Christmas episodes as well. This next year, I'll be showing the feature film will be Tokyo Godfathers again, because that film was awesome. It's the most humane and beautiful film that I've ever seen in animated format. It's probably my top 10 of best animated films. But the episodes that I'll be showing prior to that is going to be Polar Bear Cafe, episode 37, Santa Company, which is a special OVA that was helped funded by Kickstarter. There's also going to be a classic from the 90s, which is the Love Hina Christmas special. I'm also going to be showing the 2 OVA episodes of Tokyo Marble Chocolate. The animation looks really similar to Honey and Clover. So kind of look forward to that. That's always kind of fun, because I always kind of like to do a Christmas-themed screening, and finding episodes is kind of difficult to do, because, I mean, there's really not a ton to choose from. And I've seen some lists on the internet, and they just look awful. So I try to find some that really kind of invoked the Christmas, or really the holiday spirit. After that, for February, I'll have another Animation Studio Spotlight, and This was actually a recommendation by my friend Sean. He thought it'd be a good idea to do Studio AIC. They don't do a lot of animation production as they did in the 90s and the early 2000s and mid 2000s, but they still do some. They do a lot of key animation work, or they'll help with second key animation and also background designs and things like that. They've got a lot of animators at their studio that aren't freelance that will work on those kinds of things. So I wanted to pick shows that actually showcased AIC's animation production. And this will be on February 22nd. I'll be showing the first episode of each one of these series. And we're starting off with Tenchi in Tokyo. One of my favorite movies kind of growing up was Tenchi Muyo in Love. And so I figured the TV series would be kind of a nice thing to pick for this, because it's like classic harem material from the 90s. Such a good collection of anime that mixes a little bit of drama, comedy, and some, like hijinks comedy, and some pretty cool action. Then next up on the list is El Hazard. Really neat fantasy anime. And then you've also got another one called Record of Lotus War, which I'll be showing. And then last but not least is Nightwalker Midnight Detective. I recently found a copy of this. I actually have both volumes on DVD when they had come out, but I found one at Half Price Books and it was like $50 used, and the condition wasn't even that good. It's really hard to find, and it's funny because the animation, they actually changed the animation halfway through. And so, like episodes, I think it's 1 through 4, were completely different character designs than what episodes 8 through 12 or 8 through 13 were. It's really funny, but the story's good. So definitely check that out in February. I did make this announcement about a month ago during my Space Dandy event back in August. But in March, I'll be doing a 4K presentation of Bleach, the Shonen Jump anime done by Teep Kubo. And so I'm going to be showing the first 6 episodes of that. I mean, I'd love to show the first 26. I don't know if that's possible. I mean, I could still maybe try to make that happen, but it'll be episodes 1 through 6 in 4K. And I will be showing it from the Blu-ray source. So I kind of look forward to that. It's a great anime. It's just very entertaining. I wouldn't say it's memorable, but it's really, really entertaining. The manga just ended in August. So after 15 years, it's just crazy. Okay, so next up for upcoming events is April 7th and 8th. I actually have something kind of lined up that ties into a show coming out in the spring. I'm going to be doing another marathon, and it's going to be for Attack on Titan. It'll be a theater showing. It'll be a 2, maybe 3-day event, and I'll be showing all 25 episodes, including the OVAs, which were Issei's Notebook, The Sudden Visitor, Distress, and Levi's backstory of No Regrets, parts 1 and 2. And to kind of coincide with that, we'll be doing a special screening of the first episode of Attack on Titan Season 2. There will be prizes for that, I will guarantee it. So kind of look forward to that. So that's really it for upcoming events and like streaming stuff. So, I mean, hope you guys can make it out. Most of these will be at the mini theater. I am trying to coordinate events at another place, at my friend Eric's place, for some other showings and things like that, to kind of break it up a little bit, maybe do a few feature films and stuff like that, like Studio Ghibli. Those are always a hit. So kind of look forward to that. So next up is going to be the unboxing segment. Now, there's a couple of titles here. I am going to start off with GANGSTA, only because my last segment I did kind of briefly discuss Manglobe's whole dissolvement from the industry. So we've got GANGSTA, and this is actually volumes 1 and 2. Now, unfortunately, since the company went out of business, Emotion, who actually creates the discs and markets the cover art and everything, they actually stopped making these, so they're out of print. Amazon doesn't have them. They only have a few left in stock. And so volumes 3 through 6 haven't been released yet. And there was supposed to be a box set in February, but that actually never got released either. The animation is vastly improved, like most of Manglobe's releases are. There were a couple of errors animation-wise in the broadcasts, like hair colors were different from episode to episode, and a lot of the facial designs were just drawn horribly, but they improved that vastly in the GANGSTA release. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of go through this release. It slides out nicely. It also includes an English subtitle option, which is very handy. Emotion tends to do that with their releases lately. I think them and Bandai Entertainment are the only ones. All right, so this actually comes with CD information for Stereo Dive Foundation's Renegade single and Annabelle's ending song. Also information on like merchandise, GANGSTA merchandise, which is already sold out. You'll probably only find it at like vendors and stuff at Comiket in Japan and other various events. So they've also got an event ticket, which already happened. Unfortunately, I couldn't go to that. Right, so this actually comes with a couple of booklets here. This is a special comic that Kosh, the author, wrote and illustrated. And this just kind of goes through a little bit more of a backstory about Nicholas and Warwick. It's really kind of neat, actually. So you kind of get to see a little bit more than, I mean, the anime actually touched a lot on their backstory anyway. And it is a shame that they couldn't do 26 episodes for it. So anyway, here is a production booklet. This actually includes character designs. And I really like the character designs to this anime. And the animation was heavy, it was thick. It's not like One Punch Man or this season's Mob Psycho 100 where the animation is very fluid. It's just very heavy. But the character designs are very mature. It seems like an adult show. So there's Alex Benedetto. Really like her character. She's really kind of grown in the manga. The manga is actually on hiatus right now too because Kosh, the author, is sick, which is kind of unfortunate. But there is a side story manga that talks about some of the side characters throughout the anime and the manga, and it's called GANGSTA Cursed. I can't remember who the author is, but it's supposed to be really good. But there's also some production info about staff and designs on the first 2 episodes. It's really neat too because it just kind of goes in depth and everything. So we've got that. That's the first release. It does come with, I really like the artwork too. It comes in a clear jacket case too. So that's kind of cool. And the artwork of Warwick and Nicholas, and then Alex's legs, and then the doctor on the back with the little girl is really cute. So we've got that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the next volume. Just got to put this thing away. A lot of times the Blu-rays and stuff will actually come with slip covers too. So these things kind of slide out and everything. So got that. Next up is GANGSTA Volume 2. This was the last release that Manglobe ever did, which is really sad. They were supposed to do Project Ito's Genocidal Organ, but that actually got delayed and halted. And now Geno Studio, a new animation company, is handling production on it. And that's actually help funded by a couple of Chinese studios as well. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to be handled. So GANGSTA, as normal, comes with a really neat artwork. And then we've also got another special comic, comic number 2 by Koshk. And this one this kind of goes through more of Nicholas's story. This kind of develops it just a little bit. It's pretty neat. So you've got that, and then it also it's got another ad again, like the other one did, for the opening ending singles and the soundtrack. The soundtrack is awesome. It's done by Suchi, who did the who worked on the Samurai Champloo soundtrack. So here's GANGSTA, the Blu-ray disc. This also does include English subtitles. All their releases will, if they ever release them. And then the other booklet is another production booklet that goes over episodes 3 and 4. It really is a shame because they have keyframes on here, cell production work on this. You can see close. And I found a couple of places, Tenso sites, that actually have auctions on many of Manglobe's production materials. So you can kind of check those out too if you're interested in purchasing them. From Japan is a really great website to check out. So I highly recommend that one. All right, so next up is going to be, I didn't really announce this on the actual page itself, but I wanted to show it off because I got it in today. This is the Animate, the HMV, and I think Toronto Anna had a store exclusive for the erased box set. I mean, this thing is beautiful. I mean, it is awesome. It's got an illustration of Kaio Hinazuki, and I just really, really like the artwork. It's very cool. And it houses both storage boxes, part 1 and part 2. I would imagine that Aniplex USA is not going to get this release, but it's freaking awesome. I love that. So there's that, and then next up is the Kiznaiver. I haven't actually opened this yet. This is Kiznaiver Volume 4, Blu-ray Volume 4. And this has Nico Niyama on the front. It also includes Soundtrack Volume 2. And I actually haven't listened to that yet either. I know it's been released online, but yeah, we're going to go and check this out. It does come with a, I did get the Amazon Japan edition, so it comes, a lot of those store bonuses actually will have a B2 size poster, which is really neat. So we've got this. Really like the artwork on this too. It's really neat. So we're gonna go ahead and open it. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and check this out. As such, it's got another slip in here. It's kind of cool. You got that. All right, so here is Kiznaiver, Volume 4. Slides out. Well, the artwork is pretty nice. So we've got Nico Niyama on that side. It looks really, really cool. I like that illustration. That's neat. I think the character designs were done by Sushio, I think is how you pronounce it. Um, and here's the front. Really like that. That's neat. And then the back side of this booklet. And this booklet actually includes some more staff information on the episodes, just some information on episodes 7 and 8. Kind of goes into that. It's also got a track list for the soundtrack, which is nice. And I think that's really about it on what it has. So it's kind of a bare bones release. Most Aniplex releases actually include a little code, and you can just kind of redeem it. So that's kind of neat. And then here is the release. So there's the soundtrack, and then there's the Blu-ray volume. So that is Kiznaiver. Kind of like the releases for them. They've actually done a good job. It's got like this shiny, like a real glossy finish to it, and the actual cardstock is really, really nice. It's definitely worth the $75 I paid for each volume. It always amazes me how expensive these things are compared to American releases. It's kind of sad, though, that they got rid of doing single volume sets, especially with shows like Bleach. I actually have like all the single volume sets that they ever made, and then I just stopped buying them when they went to box sets. It's just kind of a shame that they handled it that way. Erased has the 2 Japanese box sets, but those actually come with 4 discs each, whereas like an American release of something will come with 1 or 2 discs, and will try to fit on like 13 episodes, and it just ruins the quality of the anime, even if it's on a Blu-ray disc that's 50 gigabytes. So it's kind of sad, actually. So there was Kiznaiver. And then last but not least, I'm going to show off the Samurai Flamenco release from 2013 into 14. This was one of Menglobe's last animated titles that they did. And it's about a superhero. It's about a male model who wants to become a superhero. So the releases are actually, all of them are illustrated by Chinatsu Kurahana. I don't know if you've known the work before, but she's done Aquarian Evolution and Utapri. Uta no Prince Sama is actually the title for that. And just that artwork is just beautiful. So we're going to go and check this out here. So to start off, volume 5 and 6 come with a storage box. And so this is actually the first storage box. And you can actually purchase it anywhere online. And I think they still have copies available. I know that some of the Blu-ray sets, the limited edition sets, like the ones I have, some of them are out of stock on Amazon and CD Japan. But there are ways to find them, like through From Japan, and Ami, I think, still has some available. But the box set, I know they still have a few left. So if you ever get a chance to pick this up and you just want the box, just buy volumes 5 and 6. Artwork is awesome. All right, so we've got Samurai Flamenco Volume 1. You like the art. And it actually slides out. It slides out like so. So then this is clear on this side. Most of these releases actually come with a drama CD. Some of them come with the original soundtrack. There were 2 soundtracks. I think it was volumes 3, maybe it was 4 and like 7 that came with the soundtrack. But these come with booklets. And then this actually also came with a keychain. I don't actually have it with me. but it's the Samurai Flamenco logo. And it also comes with an illustration art card, like a calendar as well. And this, I believe, is the actual image they used for the regular edition. For all the regular editions, they used images from the anime. Now, they were exclusive. They weren't featured in the anime, but they were designed like this. So the limited edition does have Chinatsu Kurahana's art, like an illustration done by her, but the regular editions only have the anime portion of it. It also comes with stickers, which you don't get often anymore. One of the only other releases that I have that actually comes with stickers is Michiko to Hachen. Every volume came with a set of stickers, and that correlated to each episode. But I'll go into that in a next streaming event. So yeah, these are Samurai Flamenco stickers, and then each inside jacket case is actually the regular edition cover. It's kind of cool. This also comes with a drama CD that is really funny. I've listened to it. It's Hazama Masayoshi, and he's having a conversation with Goto because he accidentally got in trouble again by some thugs. So it's really good. But that was volume 1. And I'll just kind of skim through these. I don't have a lot of time, so I'll skim through these and stuff and just kind of go over kind of the majority of the releases and everything. So that is Samurai Flamenco, Volume 1. Here is Volume 2. This features Goto Hidenori. This thing starts out like so. This one comes with another drama CD that is has Goto featured. So it also includes the illustration by Chinatsu Kurahana, but it also has a booklet as well. And this is a limited edition, and it features character art as well as information on the episodes featured on this disc, which are episodes 3 and 4. Drama CDs are pretty nice too. It also has the regular edition cover as well, so that's pretty neat too. I was actually really surprised by these releases when I got them, just because I didn't think the show really wasn't insanely popular when it was airing after episode 7, because people were very confused. I really like this show. I think they did a phenomenal job on it. But yeah, it was very low in sales. According to some sources on Twitter, they had calculated that only 212 copies were actually sold. That doesn't include any that were sold outside of Japan. That's just what was sold in Japan, whether it was online or in store at like Animate or Gamer or Wonder Goo or Rakuten. I mean, that's low. That's really, really low. Shows that are really successful, like Kekai Sensen, Blood Blockade Battlefront, each volume sold like 5,000 to 9,000, 10,000 copies. So 212 copies, that is extremely low. And if that's accurate, like it is, I mean, and not very many people probably ordered it outside of Japan, then there's 12 volumes total. I mean, that just kills sales. So I know Mangalope was in financial trouble, and their Blu-rays really didn't sell very well, but it catered to a different market. This is actually one of my favorite releases. This is Volume 3, featuring Mari Maya, one of the idol singers of the show, and she's absolutely crazy. I just really like the way Chinatsu Kurahana designed her image on this. It's really cool. This one comes with another drama CD, and the artwork is nice too. It comes with the regular edition calendar cover, and then it also comes with that limited edition as well. It's really neat. This actually comes with a hero song CD. I think this might have been sung by the Idols, but I could be wrong. But it's music that was actually featured in the anime. So that's pretty neat. And some of the other volumes do have hero CDs too, which is really cool. So that's volume 3. Here's volume 4. This is one of the other idol singers. So got all that. Just kind of pops out, and there's that one. And this is the regular edition cover. I really like what sort of designs they chose for the idol singers' superhero costumes, because it's so ridiculous. It makes fun of the tokusatsu genre, which is like the equivalent of Power Rangers here. It just makes fun of it, and they just ran with it completely. It was like a tried and true version of a tokusatsu show. And I think that's why a lot of people didn't really like it, because that genre is very hit or miss. And with anime, as you know, harem is what really sells over there. So, yeah, I'll definitely go into that conversation another time. Here is volume 5. I can get it out of the case here. This is the one that actually came with one of the storage boxes. And the Samurai Flamenco storage boxes are actually some of my favorites, just because the artwork is just so pretty. Just designed so nicely. And the material on the chipboard stuff is just, it's done so well. The material is a lot better than what a lot of American licensors use for their releases and stuff for storage boxes, especially like back from like the early 2000s and stuff like that. Just the materials, they put a lot of time and effort into it, because retail video is actually a huge market over in Japan, whereas here nowadays it's streaming, and Japan doesn't have a whole lot of streaming options available right now. I'm not sure, but I think Amazon Video is available over there. I know Netflix is. They started up last year. Well, we've had it like for a couple of years now. So there's that. So next up is going to be box set 2. This is the storage box. Features the Flamengers on it. Yeah, ridiculous name. But as soon as I saw them, it just screamed Power Rangers. So this actually has volumes 6 through 11. So go to slide these out here. Material is really nice. I love that chipboard box stuff. So here's volume 6, and this is the one that actually came with that storage box. So this one kind of slides out too. I just really like the designs they chose. And I'd imagine they probably spent a lot of money on designing these, because it just takes so much detail. This is the regular edition artwork. And then this also comes with a hero song CD as well, featuring some of the Flamengers singing on it, as well as usually those CDs feature like a 20-minute dialogue track as well, which is really cool, because it kind of gives you insight into some of the characters, whereas you wouldn't really have learned that much about them in the show. So that was volume 6. Next up is volume 7. Features the other Flamengers. This one also features a character talk CD. So it's basically the characters and a staff development interview and stuff like that. I've also got this. And usually those character talk CDs will be an extra side story as well, kind of like a drama CD and stuff. This was the regular edition cover. So ridiculous. Got the monsters and then the Flamingers fighting. There's Red Axe. That guy is so great. He's just so crazy. It does come with a booklet as well, like all the other ones do. So it features key sequences and stuff. But the book just kind of fans out a little bit. Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite releases that I own. It's definitely gives your money's worth in regards to content and that sort. So yeah, this is volume 7. Next up is volume 8. This features the teacher and the mentor of the anime. I think his name was Joji. It's been a while since I've seen the show, so I've kind of forgotten some of the characters' names. So there's that, and this one actually features a Hero Rollers High. This is actually, it kind of makes fun of the kind of like the TV segment that the producer in the anime did for Hazawa Masayoshi's Samurai Flamenco character and stuff. So it's kind of funny, kind of like how Tiger and Bunny had that whole like camera scene and stuff. So there's that, and then here is the regular edition artwork. Very cool. Each one has a counter on it, but I would totally never write in those. And there's the Blu-ray, along with an art book as well. So that was volume 8. Here's volume 9. This features Goto in a suit. It's really neat. I kind of like this one. I like the color palette they chose, kind of the different shades of blue stuff to kind of accent his character a little bit. He's like the most normal person out of the whole group. I say that until you watch episode 19. So there's that. That's the limited edition Chinatsu Kurahana illustration. And here is the regular edition. Don't really favor the regular edition art. It's just not as appealing. And this one actually comes with the original soundtrack CD too. So that's kind of neat. The music in it's vastly different too. I mean, it's nothing to write home about, but it's got a couple of tracks in there that are pretty good. It would have been interesting to have somebody like Kenji Kawai, who did the Eden of the East and Joker game soundtrack, to do it, or even Takeru Iwazaki to handle it, because I feel like a lot of those action scenes would have been handled better with some more solid music. But the music worked for the tokusatsu genre that it was trying to be. So there is volume 9. Here's volume 10. This actually features one of the side characters in the show. I won't reveal this guy who he is if you haven't seen it, but he shows up in the first episode. You have to look very carefully to find him. They do a couple of close-up shots of him towards the second half of the episode, and then you'll see him from episode, I think, 19 onwards. So he's just a very interesting character. And it kind of really represents who Hazama Masayoshi has actually evolved and kind of become as this superhero and like people that idol him. So this is the limited edition cover art. And I won't reveal the back because it's a spoiler. And then here is the regular edition artwork. It's kind of cool, another calendar. This one also features a event DVD. Many times in Japan, they will actually have a segment where it'll be it'll come with an event ticket, and they'll have the actors, the seiyuu of the anime, along with a producer at least one producer and the director sit on a stage, and either they'll act out scenes from the show, do like an extra story, or even answer questions that people have, fans have, about the show. Usually the tickets are only available on Blu-ray volumes, limited edition even, and also first pressing of them. So if you pre-order it, you would get a ticket. But if you got it on the first day, you might not get a ticket. Many of the Blu-rays that I have a ticket, and it's really cool that they actually do that kind of stuff, because none of that kind of stuff is done here, even for American cartoons and stuff for releases. Just usually kind of a bare bones stuff, and usually if they want to do something extra, they'll re-release something with extra special features. But the event stuff is really cool because it really kind of gathers the community together that watches the same show, and they can kind of converse with each other and discuss with, you know, key people that worked on a show, especially with Samurai Flamenco and how wild it was. And so it's kind of neat that they included a DVD for it, so you could sit there and watch it. So that was volume 10. The last but not least is volume 11. I kind of like this one. This has Hazama on the front, and just like one of the previous volumes, that Goto. And this one has the regular edition. This is one of the final scenes in the anime. So it's really neat. And this also includes an event DVD as well. So that's pretty neat. It's got that. And there's the Blu-ray. So it's just overall, it's a nice release. I would highly recommend picking it up if you're a fan of the show. Give me 1 second. But yeah, I highly recommend picking it up if you're a fan of the show. And yeah, I mean, it's out of print now. Amazon only carries a few copies left of some of the volumes. I know that like, volume 2 is like something stupid expensive, like 17,000 yen or something. And a couple of other Manglobes releases, like Samurai Champloo is still in stock, and they're still pressing it. So I think that one is still available at a decent price. I think it's like 16,000 yen for 26 episodes, and that actually includes the English dub and the sub. But shows like Samurai Flamenco and Ergo Proxy. Ergo Proxy had a Blu-ray box set released in Japan a couple years back, and cheapest I've seen it is 77,000 yen, which is like 850 bucks. Really expensive, and that's even on like a used end. Now, I know that Fun Animation is actually releasing a Blu-ray for Ergo Proxy. So if anyone is interested in picking that up, they still can. But as for like Samurai Flamenco, unfortunately it was never released here by Aniplex. It was licensed, and they did make an announcement that they would do a retail release for it, but it just never got it stateside. The only version of it, of Samurai Flamenco, that was released on Blu-ray and DVD were in box sets, 2 box sets by Madman Entertainment. No, it was actually called All the Anime. And they are, I want to say, like an Australian anime company, and that actually has English subtitles. The same with Gossek as well. They have a DVD set for it, and that has English subtitles. And that was supposed to come out by Bandai Entertainment, and they couldn't release it because they closed their US stores. And now they're releasing Bandai Entertainment stuff through their Japan company, with subtitles and a dub option, like Gundam Unicorn, Code Geass, Akira the Exiled, shows like that. So that kind of wraps up my unboxing segment. If there's any show that you guys want to see, like you want to see like the retail packaging or anything of, I've got a bunch. I've got Book of Ventura. If you want to see the erased sets, I can do that. Blood Blockade Battlefront is another one I've got. Parasite Box Set 1. Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. And then I've also got Space Dandy. Unfortunately, I don't have the Animate storage box for that, but I do have those releases. And then I'll just keep doing Kiznaiver. In October, I did pre-order 91 Days Volume 1 and also Mob Psycho 100. So I'll be including those in a segment in October. So kind of look for that then. But as such, my next streaming event will be in October on a Thursday. I'll make the announcement. If you do get the Anime Nights newsletter, which you can ask to receive it through my Facebook page, which is Anime Nights Underground. It's a public page, and you can join it. It's a public group, and you can join it and ask for the newsletter. And since the streaming event hasn't happened, I'm also going to be announcing that all of the magazines that were done during the screening events will be available in PDF starting tomorrow. So you'll be able to download those. There will be one for Paranoia Agent next week, so look for that then. It'll have some of the content that I announced, like upcoming events and stuff for the announcements and all that. So kind of look for next Wednesday. If anybody is interested in donating, I also have a PayPal account. So if you guys are interested in funding for like prizes, or you guys want to help out and like you guys want to go out and get wall scrolls and stuff like that, more than happy to. That'd be awesome. My big announcement though I wanted to save for last, I actually got, thanks to Right Stuff and Nozomi Entertainment, for the animation genre spotlight in December of Jose, they'll be giving me a DVD set of Restaurante Paradiso that I'll be giving away, as well as a ton of swag items. I had a fast response time. I sent out an email yesterday, and I got a reply back this morning. That's amazing. They were very, very easy to work with, and they just were very generous. So I'll be getting items from them. I'm going to try to be talking to another company as well about getting free anime items or manga stuff. I also did want to make an announcement that I will be doing a manga event sometime in November or December. I'm kind of working on the location right now at a bookstore. And kind of what we'll be doing is beforehand, maybe like a month beforehand, I'll kind of announce what the manga is that we'll be discussing, and there'll be like a roundtable discussion. I was kind of thinking maybe like a manga that wasn't even adapted into an anime yet, so something fun. But if anybody has any ideas, you can just contact me at beatslurs@gmail.com. If you, like I said, if you want to help out with an event, you can email me through that. Also, you can be on the and Twitter's @beatslurs as well. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the segment.